Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. So normally I do these unboxings completely blind. If you're new to my channel, what I like to do when stuff comes in is open stuff up blind and just react to it initially. And then what I do is I research it, carry it, etc. And then I give my final thoughts once I've had time to experience it, but in a separate video down the road. This time I looked at the model and looked it up. And the reason is because I unboxed something from their Kubey line, which was completely perplexing for the price. Kubey makes really, really good budget knives. They don't always choose the crowd favorite steel, but I feel like they really shine in the budget territory. So, don't be shy picking up their budget stuff. It tends to be really, really good, and you'll hear that echoed throughout the community. They don't always hit the nail on the head with their premium stuff. It's kind of weird. They have trouble really nailing it with everything. And especially with that recent KB unboxing, I was really just flabbergasted by the price. So this one I looked up, got a little bit of info on, but I haven't actually opened it up yet. I still want to do the initial reaction for you guys. So I'll link this guy down in the description. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Let's go ahead and open this up. So what is this? So it actually says right here, this is the KB 259B, titanium and M390. Now, the price on this was much more reasonable, and I'll tell you right off the bat, one of the things that I looked up was the HRC of their M390, which I'm really happy to tell you they list as 60 to 62, which is ideal. Oh, this is sealed. I have to actually cut it open. That's very good. That's what we want to see for M390 in terms of general pocket knife geometry, right? So we have flat titanium with a little bit of designiness, right? Here's the confusing element with the KB pivot that is exactly the same logo that they use for their KB sub-brand, which apparently focuses on premium knives that are the exact same quality as far as what we're looking at right here, but costs more money. This is a Kubey branded knife. Titanium M390 looks like kind of a medium. Oh, the thumb stud's in a really nice spot, and they have plenty of access to that little hole there. Yeah, very easy to deploy. So nothing super duper unique here, right? This is kind of par for the course, what we expect to see as far as your typical high-end quality production Chinese titanium frame lock utilizing bearings and, of course, M390. Usually the issue is we have too much money for elements that people are aware, in terms of pricing. There are some companies out there still trying to be like, hey, it's titanium and M390. Let's charge way too much for it. Usually what we want to see in this territory is right around 200, typically, as long as the quality's on point, which Kubey definitely has great quality. In fact, let me comment here. The action is very good on this. Really, really nice action here. We also have great access to the lock bar and a little bit of texturing. That's actually a really nice touch. And the thumb studs are also positioned in a really good spot for deployment. Slightly in the cutting path, maybe a 1/4 inch. Not bad, though. We have a little bit of a two-tone here, maybe a blasted bevel down to the final cutting apex. And we have a machine. It looks like a machine satin to me. But yeah, honestly, really nice, really straightforward, kind of a medium. This is probably 7 3/4, maybe 7.5. Let's take a look here real quick. Yeah, about 7.5 inches with a 3 1/4 inch blade and 3 inches of cutting edge. So actually a really nice EDC size. This right here, this subtle curvature out here, I like this. It doesn't go straight into the edge. So there's a little bit of a mental kind of hey, you're approaching a ramp. Be careful not to go over that. Really would have liked to see contouring and maybe, a continuation of this all the way down, because I think that pattern is kind of neat. Usually we either see plain titanium or we see, a continuous pattern. Sorry, I was putting pressure on the lock bar there. Something that always bothers me is companies' unwillingness to accommodate for left-handed people. And people that really have strong opinions about this. If you're left-handed, you likely just want to be included, which is a completely valid thing. Something that blows my mind when I look at the comments under I'm a right-handed person, right? I have nothing to complain about in terms of what's available to me. Also, I live in Kansas. I can pretty much carry whatever I want. I can get whatever I want here, right? I have nothing to complain about. But I continue to feel terrible for left-handed people because, number one, the knife world is not made for them. They have some left-handed options, right? And every now and then you've got companies who are willing to accommodate and give them a spot to at least mount the pocket clip, right? Even though this is a right-handed frame lock, it's still plenty, able to be utilized by, left-handed people if you manage to keep your thumb off that lock bar, right? What's surprising is the number of right-handed people that will go to war with left-handed people and say, I'm not willing to have a small, ugly spot on my pocket knife so that left-handed people can carry it if they want to. The only part of that I can kind of understand is, in cases like this, if they were to include a filler tab here, right, that is like a different color or a slot milled out, then you have to look at that. A filler tab is not that big of a deal because it's literally just a piece of titanium that would ideally be the same color as the surrounding titanium. What I've always said, I'm still having trouble saying that, is that the wraparound and slotted pocket clip is the way to go. Because oftentimes you can use this frame screw that is already here as the same screw that holds the pocket clip in place, especially if it goes all the way through. You're already having to look at a screw here, so having the pocket clip wrap around and insert into the scale, which will nest it, meaning you only need one screw to hold it in place, is ideal. Then left-handed people have the option, and right-handed people don't have to look at it. Right-handed people don't have to be slightly inconvenienced visually so that left-handed people can actually carry it. So the reason for this rant is I don't understand why companies are willing to potentially cut 10% of their sales by just not allowing left-handed people to buy their... left-handed people, you can still buy this stuff, right? What left-handed people have had to do in today's knife world is simply buy a right-handed pocket knife and just deal with it and carry it in the right-hand pocket, which I'm sure plenty of left-handed people have just done and adapted to. But I just feel like it's not really that big of a deal, and there are options. There are ways to do this, right? It doesn't have to be a big, ugly slot, which, again, I agree, a huge slot cutout in one side is not always the best way, right? But we have, for example, this is an aftermarket clip, but what we have here with the Demco AD 20.5, which is an ambidextrous locking system, the standard clip, they either offer a left-handed clip that bows in a different way, but it utilizes the actual frame screws. This is another option. The frame screws are there either way. So right-handed people, it's not like you have to look at anything different there. So it's absolutely something that can be done. What people complain about, I think, is the slot. In this case, we have the Civivi Baby Banter, where the pocket clip is symmetrical on purpose so that it can be flipped over and utilized by left-handed people. I don't know about you guys, but I just am not bothered by that, right? The more money you pay for a knife, right? If you're paying, semi-custom or ultra high-end production or custom prices, sure, but the key word there is custom, and a lot of those companies will accommodate and make specific left-handed versions. So, in an ideal world, we would have right-handed versions of knives and left-handed versions of knives if the locking system itself is not ambidextrous. But that isn't always the case and does add costs on the manufacturing end. It just blows my mind that this process, not the process, but the option for left-handed people has not been simplified, considering the slotted pocket clip or utilizing frame screws as pocket clip screws has been a thing for 2 decades at minimum, right? In the modern, tactical knife world. So I feel bad. I'm actually dumping really hard on this Kubey knife, which admittedly is actually pretty good. $220 is a little over what I was hoping to see. I was hoping to see about a $1.99, $200. 60 to 62 HRC, really good, surprisingly smooth action. Honestly, this is one of the better Kubey knives that in the premium end that I've experienced here. Functional jimping up here on the spine, and plenty of access into a thin, but like I said, fully accessible hole there. And then we have about medium thickness behind the edge. I'm going to guess that's probably 125 to 130 thousandths there. Let's see if I'm right. I feel like that's definitely going to be the case. So every time I open this can of worms, I get Oh no, it's much thicker. 140. That's weird that it's so thick. It doesn't look that thick. But I find it bizarre, you know, how many people are willing to like combat left-handed people on their general desire to basically be treated equal in the knife community. They're like, how dare you want the same things that we do, right-handed people, like the knife. We have everything, guys. Right-handed people, we have everything. We have everything that we could want. That the world is made for us in terms of knives. I feel like companies making an effort to just, I mean, it's even a symmetrical clip. God, it's a cool model. Right-handed people, you're going to love this. Just like you love the last 10 billion knives that were made for you and me on this planet. Left-handed people, this one just isn't for you. Now, I would hate to find out that immediately after this video, which I'll have edited, that they make a left-handed version. I find that to be unlikely, though. First impressions, actually pretty good, other than not having a left-handed option. Expect a full review down the road. There's going to be a link in the description for this guy. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex and on TikTok at _metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.